Yes, 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 yes. We give thanks. We give thanks. We give thanks. We give thanks for this opportunity, for this time that we get to spend here together, for the cultivation of our craft, for the amount of fun that we get to have here doing something special that is more beautiful than the other things that we could have done individually. We give thanks for this opportunity. We give thanks for the path that we have here. We give thanks unto the one most high creator, Jah Rastafari. My dad's older brother, my uncle, he gave me a stack of records, and it was full of like Ohio players and Confunction and whatever, and also Parliament Funkadelic. And so Parliament Funkadelic became like everything to me. I just could not get enough P-Funk, just like everything, and Bootsy and Player of the Year and like Stretching Out and the whole thing, right? So I was really, really excited about that. Went away to college, started this band called the Funky Funky Freaks. And that was styled after Parliament Funkadelic. So I had a 4-piece horn section, I had, you know, a whole rock band around me, and it was like the whole thing was like a lot of chants and dance music. It was like house parties and stuff like that. We threw some great house parties. People really loved it, you know. P-Funk is very, you know, the whole like outer space, it's a cosmology. It's bigger than just music.
Parliament Funkadelic was just this constant inflowing of new musicians and young musicians. And George Clinton wasn't just forming a band, he was trying to change lives.
All these different bands, and there's comics and whatever, right? And there's a whole universe there, but there's also this idea of the one, right? And it's this one singular unifying principle, which is the source, the fount of all things. That's what cosmic slop is. It's the funk from which the universe is created. And this is true, like, you know, like if you smelled something bad, you'd be like, right? But also, if you hear a dope groove, you go, you know, you make the same face. And so there's something resonant about that, right? And so Funkadelic was really into that and sort of really touched on this idea of the cosmic slop and funk as being something like an important, necessary creative force, like a bog or a swamp or something like that. Like it's PU up in there, right? But you get in there and you see that it's also super rich soil, and a lot of things do live here, and they live well, they live bountifully. There's something to the grossness, to the brutality of that I think is also inherent to the cosmos. Like, yes, God is love and this sort of stuff, but also the difficulty, the grossness, the things that like make you put the stank face on, those are real. Those are real things that are inherent to the cosmos. Like, through difficulty, you become much stronger. Kevin tells this story about like, that I don't remember, but evidently I came home for a summer or something like that, and we were all out at the bowling alley, and he said that like the funk just could not be contained. It was just like coming out of me all the time. It was like clear that it was just like coming out of my skin. I'm here in Columbia, got the Funky Funky Freaks with Kevin, right? And me and Kevin are going to see Lloyd every week. He's kind of helping us to do the thing, and he sees what's going on with me, and he's like, all right, here's how you're gonna get out of here. You're gonna get a cruise ship gig. You're gonna do an audition for a cruise ship.
Inevitably, the idea of getting him on a cruise ship was what seemed completely logical, man, because, I mean, there's this guy with dreadlocks. You know, he had an attitude and he knew how to handle himself on stage.
I take this little audition, I pass the audition. They're like, great, we would love to have you. We'll see you in 3 weeks. They give me a date. I'm like, yes, this is exactly it. So I call up the homegirl. I'm like, I got 3 weeks to kill. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? And she was like, yes, I am. Let's do that. So I get rid of everything I own. I'm just like done with this and get on the first thing smoking to New York City with $600, a guitar, and a dream. You know what I mean?
After Zamboni got on that boat, toured in different parts of the world for a few months, when he finally got off the boat, he was in New York City. And that was the next chapter. But he was fully capable of handling musical circumstances in New York City. Well, I guess that's what he had to do to get to New York City.
There's a studio in Midtown called Funkadelic Studios. And so obviously I was up in that spot, right? And they had a jam that would happen every Friday. And so I went to that jam pretty regularly, and I was just smoking fools. You know what I mean? Like, I'm obviously, clearly the funkiest dude here, and I'm just like, I'm killing the game, right? And so I'm like feeling myself. So I get up there and I let whatever whack bass player finish up the thing, and I kind of kick him off and then get up there. And then, so the dude playing the drums, he's wearing a purple vest and a purple shirt, and he's got purple pants on and a purple Santa hat. And I'm like, all right. And he's like, bat, bang. We in. And then it's just like, it's bang. The groove of death is just happening. All right, this is what's up. And so I'm like playing my little thing. And so I start playing these little P-Funk songs. And he switched up the groove. And he like, all right, we could do that one. And then I was like, oh shit, okay, he's bad, huh? And so I switched the groove up. And he switched the groove up with me. And so I'm there, we playing these P-Funk tunes. And I'm like, this is what's up. We like finish up the thing and whatever. And then we like head into the next room. We like about to go smoke and whatever. And then I passed a sign that I've also passed on the way in, but on the way out, I passed the sign, and like, this is the drummer for P-Funk. Like, here he is, Benzel's right here, and I've been playing with him for an hour, and I didn't know that that was him. He calls me up in a couple of days, and so there's another couple of gigs that they're doing right there, and so I got on that. And so the thing about that was that, so Funkadelic has like 30 albums. They know all these tunes. They know, they've been playing these tunes. And not me. I'm like, all right, so which tunes are we doing for the show? And he's like, the ones that come up. You know, and I'm like, dog, this is a lot. And so I'm at home practicing and whatever, and just like, and then I finally get to the show, and I crash and burn. It was so bad, they stopped the show. Apologized to the audience for the bass player. The guitar man turned around and showed me the bass line real slow. So they didn't call me back after that. But I did play with them. And so you know, and that's part of what it is. You know, you gotta like go and cut your teeth. You gotta suck a bunch. And so I did that. New York is one of these places, it's like Toronto. It's like a bunch of West Indian people live there. Like mad Jamaicans live in New York City. It's important to remember that reggae music and bob and like all that like starts out as church music, right? That begins as a spiritual endeavor, you know, with Rastafari and all that. We give thanks to this house for holding us and keeping us warm in this cold, cold time. We give thanks for the earth, which continues to hold us up. We give thanks to the water. So at the same time that I was working on reggae music, and I was doing reggae music all the time, I was doing it like it was church. We had a jam every Sunday, and I would go and learn how to play, and I went in there and I was playing like a funk player, and they were like, stop playing all these goddamn notes, what are you doing? You know.
So I've got to stay awake and where I
I'm like in there with them, and it's just part of the tradition that they would just call shit on the mic, and you know, so they would call for a mix, and I'd be like, you mean like we're gonna like play with knobs or something? Like, what are you talking about, mix? And they, you know, and so I just had to learn what that was. Or like outside is another one. Like we're gonna take the tune out, or like this. Like nobody, you almost never see this. Like in a Western American context, you'll always see people like do that to mean like, all right, and then we're gonna like be done.
Search and you can't find the truth. Same tree can't bear no fruit. Just give thanks for the branch that you use. And when you pray, don't say please.
Rastafari and you know, and not to mention the music and all the rest of it. Like it resonates. Yeah, it resonates until it's time to like really be with the Bingham on them, and it's like, oh, like I'm just a weird New York kid. Like, you know what I mean? I wrote this tune, which is just a hymn of gratitude, and it goes for 8.5 minutes. People can just be grateful and listen to this music and vibe and feel the groove and all that, and just like love it and feel that love in our hearts for a period of 9 minutes. So that's going to be the lead single off of the next record, which is called Jah Control the Rest. And the name of that, Jah Control the Rest, is very much about faith. It's this idea of even every breath is a gift in some ways, right? Like I didn't make this oxygen, you know, like and part of that gets into the like community that is the earth, you know what I mean? Like we are constantly in community with the plants. So what we exhale is what they inhale, and what they exhale is what we inhale. And so there's this like back and forth connection that goes on there. But then that whole thing might be thought of as Jah, right? As the sort of like one, the giant one creator deity, right? And so it's this idea of like faith that like Jah will control it, and I don't have to. Do my very best, of course, show up every day, do my best, but then I don't have to control it, because Jah is gonna do whatever is right, and it will always unfold perfectly. So that's what I'm trying to like put through in not only my music, but in everything that I do. That's what I try to live with. I am hella funky. Like, it's not a problem for me.